Hey friends, it's Kelly, and welcome back to Mama Needs a Goal. Thank you so much for joining me today. And if you're new here, welcome, welcome. I really appreciate you all joining me today. And before we get started, I would like just to say, please, if you don't mind, to follow me over on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and also TikTok. And if you don't mind, please go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel as it does greatly help me out quite a bit. And also, don't forget to hit that little bell because it will notify you every time I have a new video coming out. So friends, let's get started. So, what's for dinner? So this video is just a recap of our weekly meal plan for the month of September. I'm just going to go ahead and go over my meal plans with you and show you some pictures from some of the dinners that we had. So I hope you enjoyed this video. So let's start with the first week of September. We're going to start with September the 6th. On Monday, we had steak, grilled veggies, and rice, and I had cauliflower rice. And before we go any further, I just wanted to mention I do eat low carb most of the time. I do IF with low carb, and because I'm doing IF, I do eat carbs maybe 2, 3 times a week out of the 7 days. And it's really nice because of the way I'm doing it. I'm not depriving myself, but I do try to eat low carb most of the time. So let's move on to Tuesday, September the 7th. The plan was to have green chili chicken enchilada casserole. However, I could not find the green sauce that I needed. So I ended up having just my regular enchilada casserole using the red sauce. I did use, by the way, low carb tortillas. I forgot to mention that. So here's a picture where I just have some of my green chilies in some chicken broth and sauteed that. And then I went ahead and added the cream cheese and the red sauce to the mixture and just had that cook up a little bit. And here is where I have my chicken and some red onion and Mexican cheese, and then just got all that cheese melted and it got thickened up quite a bit and became a little gooey and delicious. And here it is where I started putting the casserole together. I have my low carb flour tortillas. I have a layer of that on the bottom there of the casserole dish, and then I did a layer of the mixture, and then another layer of the flour tortillas, and then continued with the mixture, and I just mixture and repeated that, and then I topped it off with some Mexican cheese and some crushed tortilla chips. And here is the final result. This is one of our family's favorite. I just top it with some sour cream and it is delicious. Now let's move on to Wednesday, September the 8th. We had baked spaghetti with Italian sausage, salad, and garlic bread. And here you can see I just took some Italian sausage, sliced it up, threw it in the frying pan, and just cooked it up to mix it in with my pasta and sauce. And here also I wanted to mention the garlic bread. I purchase the garlic bread at Aldi. It's in the section with all the regular bread, and I usually buy 2 loaves when I go to Aldi and throw them in the freezer. So that way, anytime I'm having an Italian dish, I always have garlic bread in the freezer. It's easy to grab and just throw in the oven. And honestly, I like this just as much as when we make our own homemade garlic bread. And then there in the middle picture is our homemade sauce. This is one of hubby's family recipes. He's the one that makes this, and he did promise me that I will be able to share this with you all the next time we make a large batch. And then there on the right, that's where I just put everything together and ready to throw it in the oven. And here is the completed meal. The upper left-hand corner is just when I pulled it out of the oven, and then I plated it up for the family. And the bottom left corner is my dinner. This day I did not eat pasta. I just took the Italian sausage, put a bunch of mozzarella cheese on it, throw it in the microwave, and then I had myself a nice large garden salad. Moving on to Thursday, September the 9th, we just had sloppy joes, tater tots, and coleslaw, kind of. So here is the plated dinner. The sloppy joe is just the sandwich mixture that I buy in the can with our own ground beef, and then of course tater tots. And you see anything missing? Yeah, the coleslaw. I made it, put it in the refrigerator, but somehow it got shoved in the back that day, and I forgot about it, and I found it like 3 or 4 days later. So we didn't have coleslaw that day. So let's move on to the week of September the 13th. On that Monday, the plan was to have pecan crusted chicken salad, but we ended up, I don't know what we did that night. I don't remember, but something came up. We weren't home that night, so I think we got pizza or subs that night. I can't remember now, but we ended up just getting carry out. Then on Tuesday, September the 14th, was a soccer night, so we just had a quick hoagie with chips. I had a sub in the tub. If you're not familiar with a sub in the tub, it's basically just romaine lettuce, and then I take the Italian meats and slice them up, and the cheese, throw it on top. I always add a little bit of red onion, some tomato, pepperoncinis, a little bit of olive oil, and vinegar, and a little bit of salt and pepper, and I just love it like that. It is so delicious. And then on Wednesday, September 15th, we had chicken andouille sausage and shrimp kebabs, rice and grilled veggies. And for me, I just had some cauliflower rice instead of plain rice. And here is our final dinner. I did quickly want to mention the shrimp that we use for this dish, or for any dish, honestly. We purchase our shrimp from Costco. I believe it's 31 to 40 pieces of shrimp per pound, and it is a 2-pound bag. They come deveined, and the shell is split, so it makes it really, really easy to remove the shell and the tail once it is thawed. And then, as I mentioned, here is the final dish, and this is my dish over some cauliflower rice. So now we're moving on to Friday, September the 17th, and we had grilled pork chops, petite potatoes, and it was supposed to be spinach, but we ended up changing that. So here is my petite potatoes. I just sliced them up in quarters. I put a little bit of olive oil on them and some ranch seasoning, the dry seasoning packet. Just mix it all together, throw it in my air fryer, and oh my goodness, they're so yummy. And then here is my plate. Pork chops is very similar. I just take the pork and coat both sides with some olive oil, some dry ranch seasoning on both sides, and then I put it in the fridge and just let it sit all day. And then we go ahead and grill it. And as you can see, we ended up having corn instead of spinach. And I think because I did not have any when I went to get it, I realized I didn't have any, but I have plenty now. So let's move on to the week of September the 20th. That Monday on the 20th, we had gyros and Greek salad. I just quickly wanted to show you my little station that I create when I have gyros, because we all like different things when it comes to our gyros. So in the very back of the picture in the upper right hand corner, I have my lettuce. I have some pepperoncinis, Kalamata olives, tomatoes, cucumber, and sliced red onion, and that we pretty much use to make our salad. And then I have some salad dressing, which you kind of can't see. It's behind the feta, big container of feta cheese right there. And then we have our lamb and beef mixture of the meat. That is something I think is new at Costco. I purchased that about 2 months ago, and we fell in love with this meat. It is absolutely delicious. I highly, highly recommend it. And then I ended up just dicing up some red onion. And I know this is very weird. I like the diced onion to go on my pita bread. And then my husband ended up making homemade tzatziki sauce because he's not a fan of cucumbers, so he made it without cucumbers. And then I just added cucumbers on my pita bread when I ate it, and I couldn't tell the difference at all. And then here is my plate. Oh my goodness, friends, does this look delicious or what? I promise you, it is so good, so good. I do have a video on this and how I make it. It's actually a video on how I make the gyro meatballs, but it has the salad dressing in that video. So if you go back, or I'll actually go ahead and link in the description box the video for this one. And then on Tuesday, September 21st, we had slow cooker creamy green chili chicken enchilada soup. Say that 3 times fast. And here it is, my friends. It was delicioso. I just topped it with some Mexican cheese and 2 slices of avocado. And then I just had a few tortilla chips on the side. I do have this recipe linked for you as well. Now we're moving on to Wednesday, September the 22nd. We had the crock pot roast with pepperoncinis, mashed potatoes, and green beans. So here is the roast in the crock pot. This actually was very good, but it was a little bit on the salty side. So you definitely need to take note of that, but it really did turn out good. And here it is completed. And again, as you can see, I ended up having corn instead of green beans. I don't know what happened that day or why, but here it is. And friends, I got to tell you, I ended up having a little bit left over and I ate it the next day and the day after for lunch. I put it over top of some cauliflower rice and I found that the rice absorbed that salt, so it actually tasted way better the next day. And then moving on to Thursday, September the 23rd, we had pecan crusted chicken salad, and this is my all-time favorite salad. It is the copycat of TGIF. They no longer serve the salad, and honestly, I stopped going there because this is what I ate every time I went. I don't bother anymore because I love this salad. But this making it at home, it actually tastes so much more. It just tastes so much better and fresher. So I'm not worried about them not serving it anymore. So I just wanted to quickly show you my station, how I make the chicken. I just have my chicken breast. I have some flour with a little bit of pepper in there, and I just coat it, dip it in some egg wash, and then that last pan, which you cannot see, that is just some breadcrumbs with a little bit of salt and pepper and some glazed pecans crushed really small, and then I dip it in that. And then I put it in the air fryer. I normally fry it in a frying pan with olive oil, but it makes such a mess. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to try it in the air fryer. As you can see, my before and after. And friends, it turned out just as good. I was not disappointed at all. And here is my plate. Oh my goodness. I want it again. I'm going to have this again. It is so, so good. It's just on a bed of romaine lettuce. It has some of the glazed pecans, dried cranberries, some mandarin oranges, feta cheese, and the chicken. And then it's topped with a dressing. And oh my goodness, It's just so delicious. And lastly, for that week, we had crock pot chili and cornbread. And here is the crock pot when my husband was putting it together. He did make this. This is a recipe. I'm not really sure where he got it from, but I mean, we've been married 26 years and he's been making that the entire time. So he's been making this for many, many years. So here is down in the left-hand corner, you can see the final product, and I just kind of gave a glimpse in the upper right-hand corner of some of the process. And here, my friends, is a big casserole of cornbread. My husband and oldest son love this cornbread. It is their favorite. They devour it. We get this from Costco. It's in a big box, white box with I think it's like orange or yellow writing on it. They absolutely love this cornbread and have to have it whenever we have chili or jambalaya. And there in the bottom left-hand corner is my dish of chili, and I just topped it with some Mexican cheese and had some tortilla chips with it. Now let's move on to the last week of September the 27th. We had chicken tacos and Mexican street corn salad. Now, friends, here is my Mexican street corn salad. I had looked up some recipes for this, and I had some tomato left from my garden, and I also had some avocados that I needed to use up. And all the recipes that I was finding did not have those two items in it, but there were some other salads that was similar that did. I ended up basically taking a couple recipes that I found plus my chicken avocado salad recipe and kind of used a little bit of the items from that. And I just created my own Mexican street corn salad. I did make a video on this. I will be sharing that soon. I did make a batch and shared this with some friends because I wanted to get their opinion to make sure that it was very tasty before I shared it. I thought it was absolutely delicious. My friends absolutely loved it. Hubby thought it was okay, but I'm going to be honest with you. I think the whole um, corn thing threw him off, and he was talking about it before he even tasted it. So I think that threw him off a little bit. So, but I promise you, it's really good, and I will be having a video coming out on this soon. And here friends, you know, I think every cooking video I do, I end up making a mess or dropping something or doing something that I shouldn't have done. This is real life. I am not pretending everything is perfect, so I'm sharing this with you. Yeah, this is the mess I made when I was cooking the chicken. Just flung it out of the pan. Ended up having to clean the stove all up. But anyway, down in the left-hand corner, I used to just do the chicken, throw some of the dry taco seasoning in there, and that was how I made my chicken tacos. One day, my son, I had made bought this one seasoning that was like a liquid, um, more of a sauce, and he really liked it. So I started experimenting. I buy this salsa from Aldi. I'm telling you, this is the best salsa ever. I love, love, love it. And I thought, let's try this in there. So I add a little bit of the taco seasoning, and then I do a nice like quarter cup of the salsa in there. Just cook it together, and friends, oh my goodness, it really kicks it up a notch. Absolutely delicious. And then as you can see up in the right-hand corner, I did make some guacamole. I had some avocados left over that I really needed to get used up. I purchased the McCormick guacamole seasoning mix. I have tried so many different guacamole mixes, and I'm telling you, friends, this McCormick one is by far the best. You do not need to add tomato and onion or anything like that in your guacamole unless you want some chunkiness with that in there. I did add a little bit of tomato only because I had them left from the garden and needed to get them used up. And this is hard to find, this particular seasoning, but is absolutely delicious. Again, it's the McCormick guacamole mix. And here is my taco salad, and it was absolutely delicious. And I do have, which is kind of hard to see, I have a layer of tortilla chips on the bottom of this. Now we're moving on to Wednesday, September 29th. We had one pot Cajun chicken and sausage Alfredo pasta. This is one of our family's favorite dish. My son actually requested this for dinner, and when I said I was making it to the other son, he was cheering it on because they really do truly love this dish. So here is my chicken andouille sausage. Friends, this is one of my favorite andouille sausages. It's just got a nice little kick to it. I do get it from Costco. There's 8 links in a package, and they are packaged 4 per package. And then just wrapped together. And I will usually buy 2 packages whenever I go to Costco, and then I throw them in the freezer because this is what I use when I make my shish kebabs or shish kebabs when I make kebabs or, whatever. This is one of our favorite sausages. And then here is the final dish. Does that not look yummy or what? I love it. It's got a nice little kick to it, some added extra Cajun seasoning on there. Oh, delicious. Now moving on to Thursday, September the 30th, we had a chicken parmesan casserole. Now, this dish was a little bit different for me. I normally make chicken parmesan. I just would cook the chicken, make my batter and all, cook the chicken, fry it up, add some sauce on it with some cheese on top and cook the chicken. And then I usually have like a side of pasta or something. So I just found this recipe. It was time consuming to make. I'm going to be honest with you. It was very time consuming. It was very delicious, but time consuming. I have my chicken there. I just sliced it up into little slices, kind of like chunky slices, I guess. I put it in the flour mixture, then the egg, and then the breadcrumbs. Then I put it in the air fryer. I had to do like 2 batches in the air fryer, so it took a while just to do all that. Then I had to put it together and bake it. So here you can see where you know, I guess, what's it called? Dredging the chicken. And then I just cooked the pasta. I added some Parmesan cheese and mozzarella cheese, mixed it all together. And here you can see the little chicken strips coming out of the air fryer. And here is where I put the casserole together. So what I did was I did a layer of the pasta sauce with the cheeses mixed together. Then I just sprinkled a little bit of mozzarella cheese on top of it. Then I did a layer of the chicken strips, and then I just repeated until you can see that casserole dish was overflowing. And then I topped it off with some more mozzarella cheese. And here is the final outcome. And as I said, friends, this really was delicious, but it was very, very, very time consuming. So to be honest with you, I don't know if I will make this again just because it took so long to make. I may end up trying just buying some chicken strips, that in the bag already and see if that'll work. But it was a good dish. And friends, that is it for the overview of our What's for Dinner for the month of September. I do want to give some shout outs. The first one is to Dash of Savory for providing the recipe for the grilled shrimp and andouille sausage kebabs. The next one is the slow cooker creamy green chili chicken enchilada soup. That is from the recipe runner. The slow cooker pot roast with peppers was from Savory Tooth, and the one pot Cajun chicken and sausage Alfredo pasta was from My Organized Chaos. And friends, if there is any recipes or any dishes that I served that I do not have the links for. This will also be in the description box, so you can easily just click on the link and it'll take you right to their site. And I'll also put the link to the Mediterranean meatballs and salad, Greek salad, so you guys can get that recipe as well. So I do want to give a big shout out to them and thank them for providing these recipes and allowing me to share them. So friends, that'll do it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel because it really helps me out a great deal. Don't forget to hit the little bell because it will notify you every time I have a new video coming out. And also don't forget, go check me out over on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. I am very active on Facebook and Instagram. And also, like the pages there as well and follow me. Again, it just helps me out a great deal. So friends, thanks so much and I'll see you next month.